Hi cottagers, welcome back to my channel. I am Maddie Sanderson and this is This Bookish Cottage. On today's episode, I'm going to be baking and talking about a book. This book is called Wizard for Hire, as I'm sure you can see based off of the screen. Wizard for Hire is one of those books where you don't hear about it enough, but you should. I love this book. What it is about is it is following a young boy whose name is Otto, and he was left in the woods at his parents' cabin by himself when he was roughly 6 or 7 years old, and his parents were taken. We don't know why, we don't know how, we don't know any of the specifications, we just know that they were taken. When he finally comes to a point in his life where he realizes that there's more that he can do instead of just sitting around waiting for them, he comes across a listing in a local newspaper that is for a wizard for hire. And so he figures, let's go ahead and give it a try. He calls the number and he ends up meeting up with a man whose name is Wren. Wren is a quirky little duck, and he is so much fun, but also infuriating and also just a little conundrum. I could not figure him out for the entirety of this book, and that was something that, while at first I was kind of put off by, I really started loving that about him. You kept wondering, is he really a wizard? Is he not really a wizard? Is there something going on that's deeper and more maniacal than we understand with him? Or is he really just aloof? You never figure that out. And you still don't figure it out even by the end of this book, because this is a series that I have every intention of finishing within the next couple of weeks. So these two get together. And not only is it these two, but it is also Otto's mechanical bird. And Clark is the name of this bird, and he is by far my favorite character. He is full of sass, he's full of opinions, and he's also just kind of full of it sometimes. Most of the time he understands what's going on, but he also can only understand to an extent that a bird or a machine could understand something, which brings a lot of humor into the story. This book is a funny book, and it is also one that it is clean. There's no language. It is great if you want to read it together as a family. It's also great if you just want to read it by yourself. It is a fun time to be had. So the three of these characters, should I say, are on an adventure trying to figure out whatever they can about Otto's parents. And Otto believes that he has hired a wizard, and the wizard believes that there is things that he can do to actually help this boy, whether magical or not. Again, we don't ever figure out in this novel whether or not Wren is actually a wizard, but there are some moments where you want to believe it, and there are some moments where you can't seem to find the magic in whatever just happened. But it's also funny and quirky enough where you're kind of like, okay, I'm here for that. It's fine. I'll just deal with it and I will move on. It is such a light-hearted book, and one that truly made me enjoy reading. It took me back to reading books whenever I was a kid, and just the imagination that had to be had at that time. But also, there was so much depth with the characters that I was shocked by, to be honest. This is a middle grade book, and I don't always expect a ton from middle grade books, but I feel like some authors have started understanding that not all middle schoolers want a fluffy run-of-the-mill book. And this is definitely not one of those. Seeing the growth of Otto and seeing the past that Rin had to go through to get where they are right now, oh, it was so good. And I was rooting for all of them. I was laughing out loud with all of them and at all of them. And I kept telling Cody how excited I was that I was reading this book. I read it in one sitting because it was just that good, that it wasn't necessarily that there was so much action and adventure that I had to keep going, but it was that it was just so funny and just a sweet, sweet book that I could not put down. I knew that this was one that I wanted to give its own segment because it was truly a remarkable book that I wish more people had on their TBR. If you are afraid of reading middle grade books because you're afraid they're just going to be, frou-frou, or they're going to be too immature for you, I understand that. That was my hesitation with this book, but I also knew with a cover like this one that looks as amazing as it does, and then also the sparkly gold that goes on with it, there's got to be something a little more to it. And maybe we shouldn't always base our books off our covers, but I do. This was one I, hands down, think that the cover is a perfect representation of how amazing this book is. I'm telling you, you will not regret picking this book up. It was so good. And I know that I keep saying that over and over again, and I need to find better adjectives for this, but truly, truly, it was such an amazing and good and wholesome book. You will love it. You will love it. Your kids will love it. Your friends will love it. Your friends' kids will love it. I'm telling you, it'll just be a big Mod Podge of people who absolutely love this book. Anyways, thank you guys so much for spending time with me. And thank you guys so much for watching this new series that I'm now creating called Books and Baking. I loved this idea, and I thought this is a great way for you guys to get to know who I am more, and also get more in-depth looks at the books that I am reading and loving. I am very thankful for everyone who has liked, commented, and subscribed, and I ask that if you have not done that, that you will please do so. And if you haven't already, make sure you go and check out our readathon that is going to be happening at the end of May. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.